morning and welcome to today's edition of the Camnet TV breakfast show, Rise and Thrive. This particular morning, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Joe Smarter. Now, we keep reminding you, our dear viewer out there, that as Camnet TV, we are going digital. In a few days, we're totally going digital, and you'll be able to download our app via Play Store and App Store so that you don't miss on our programming. Be tuned to this particular channel as we continue to update you, and obviously counting down to when the day comes when you'll be able to download that particular app from Camnet TV, while you'll be able to watch all our programming on the comfort of your phone wherever you may be at any given time. Now today, before anything, let's go into our scripture text of the day. Okay, that's our Bible verse for the day, which comes from the book of Psalms, chapter 3, verse 5, and it reads, today, February 6th, it reads, I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. Okay, that's our Bible text for the day as we kickstart the program this particular morning, and we go straight into our segment, the newspaper pick. Let's see what our daily tabloids have for us this particular morning. Okay, we go straight to the News Diggers, a daily tabloid right here in Lusaka, city of Zambia. Now it reads with a banner headline that reads, Government opens Tazama, okay, to allow cheap importation of fuel. This has been long overdue, obviously. On the far left, we have investors don't care about us, they only come to make money, Kabuswe. That particular statement is attributed to the Mines and Minerals Minister, Honorable Paul Kabuswe, who says, investors don't care about us, they only come to make money. Okay, then on top there, we have court issues bench warrant against Emmanuel Mwamba. Okay, then below there in blue, we have residential areas will get at least 4 hours of power daily, says ZESCO. Okay, talking about ZESCO, do you have power supply in your area, wherever you're watching us from? If you're in Kabanana, site and service. If you are in Kabwata, site and service. If you're in Kamwala, south, Chalala, Chilenge, Woodlands, Kablonga, Kalingalinga, Mutendere, Mandevu, wherever you are watching us from, do you have power in your area? And we'll be showing you the ZESCO schedule that was released yesterday, and I want to find out if this particular schedule has been followed in your area. As you might be aware that there have been so many inconsistencies when it comes to the load management schedule being followed by the utility company. I want to find out from you whether you do have power in Baulen of Lusaka province. Do you have power there? So wherever you're watching us from, if you're watching us from Kabwe, thank you so much for making that decision. Do you have power in Lukanga at Jameson? Do you have power in High Ridge, or wherever you're watching us from within Kabwe mine area? Do you have power there? Please come through and let us know. The number is scrolling on your TV screen there. Feel free to inform us. This information is very important to us and the authorities out there. Now let's go into our next daily tabloid. Okay, we go to a broadsheet, the Zambia Daily Mail, state-owned newspaper. Now this one reads with the headline, Japanese governor hails Hichilema. President HH saluted for promoting peace, democracy since 2021. On the far right, Mwetwa urges Zambians to say no to PF dark days. Then on the left here, Pedagogy Central, Pambashe vote new MPs. Then obviously here, Zaf boss and wife jailed 3 years over 7 million kwacha graft. Below there, we have Emmanuel Mwamba given bench warrant. Now obviously, Petauke and Pambashe constituencies go into the polls today they are voting. Now the polling stations have been opened. They are going to vote their new members of parliament. When we talk about Pambashe, Pambashe is a parliamentary seat that was held by former member of parliament Honorable Ronald Chitotela, who was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment with hard labor for is it arson? Yes, 5 years imprisonment. And when we talk about Petoke Central, the member of parliament is on the run. He is a fugitive running from the law. 2 days ago, he went live on his Facebook page. Yesterday, he did post. He did make a post urging electorates in Petoke Central to vote for a named candidate, urging them to vote for a named candidate, saying, and I quote, "Chitukugo to go Pasogolo." He mentioned the name of the candidate. So yes, Petoke constituency fell vacant after the member of parliament was fell ill and he wasn't yet convicted. He was appearing before court and he was in police custody. Then he was admitted to a named hospital in Eastern Province, where through mysterious circumstances he vanished from the cops that were from the police officers that were manning him, and he resurfaced on social media. God knows which location where he is. The authorities haven't given us a statement. We had a statement previously where the Minister of Home Affairs did assure the nation that they were in contact with a named country to bring back the member of parliament to Zambia. They had apprehended him. They were just doing preliminaries with the named country, our neighboring country, to bring Honorable J.J. Banda back to Zambia. But that particular statement and press briefing has died down quietly. We do not know what is really happening. We haven't yet gotten an update as in what's happening right now, what's happening to a member of parliament, where he is based, because government gave its position and that position hasn't been followed to the latter. So as we sit and wait, we will continue obviously seeing the member of parliament going live on his Facebook page and playing gospel music in the background. Okay, now let's go to another daily tabloid. We go to the Mast. Now the Mast newspaper has an interesting headline which will set up a large part of our discussion this particular morning. Changala questions president's priorities. Why did HH snub SADC summit? Membe condemns jailing of pastor. Court orders Mamba's arrest. Now, let's go back to the headline. Why did HH snub SADC summit? Now, this particular headline, dear viewer, suggests that President Hakainde Hichilema did not attend the SADC summit. According to this particular headline, it is suggesting that President Hakainde Hichilema did not attend the SADC summit. Now wait, dear director, let's go to a list of presidents that attended the SADC summit. And this particular list was taken from Chief Communications Specialist at State House, Mr. Clayson Hamasaka's Facebook page. We monitored it and we've brought this list. Now let's look at that list. Let's look at that list, dear director. Now when you look at that list critically, dear viewer, from wherever you are watching us from, you will notice that, I'll read it in part. Communique of the extraordinary summit of the heads of state and government of the Southern African Development Community, 31st January 2025. Point 1. The extraordinary summit of the heads of state and government of the Southern African Development Community, SADC, hereafter called Summit, quote unquote, was held on the 31st of January 2025 in Harare, Republic of Zimbabwe, to deliberate on the security situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Point 2. Summit was officially opened and chaired by His Excellency Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, in his capacity as chairperson of SADC. Point number 3. Summit was attended by the following heads of state and government or their representatives. We begin. Zimbabwe, His Excellency President Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Botswana, President Advocate Duma Gideon Boko. Democratic Republic of Congo, His Excellency President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo. Madagascar, His Excellency President Andry Rajoelina. Mozambique, His Excellency President Daniel Francisco Chapo. South Africa, His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. Zambia, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. We end there. Okay, so according to this SADC communique, President Hakainde Hichilema did attend the SADC summit in Zimbabwe on the 31st of January this particular year. Dear Director, let's go back to the headline. Now, according to this headline, in one of the daily tabloids, it is suggesting that President Hakainde Hichilema didn't attend. Now, why does this daily tabloid why is it having this particular headline? Dear Director, now, you can't blame this daily tabloid for having this particular headline. Number one, there was no official communication from the person that has issued that particular communique or shared it to the general public. There was no official communication from his office that the president did attend the SADC communique. This is why we keep on saying, as the media, that do not blame us. We keep emphasizing and calling upon those that have been charged with the responsibility to communicate to the Zambian people, to communicate, one, on time when things are happening, and update the Zambian people what the president is doing, where the president is, and whatever surrounds the presidency, the office of the head of state. Now, there have been lapses in communication when it comes to communicating to the general public. President Hakainde Hichilema himself is on record to have said, I believe that was in 2023, during a press conference, that he admits that there have been lapses when it comes to communicating what his party in government has been doing or has done, or from the time that they assumed power. Now, this is the challenge that is there when it comes to communicating. So this list is being produced now when speculations, when the opposition have speculated, when the general public have speculated, and this is when this information is coming. So you can blame the daily tabloid for carrying out that headline. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Mr. Eye Opener, Mr. CEPHAS CHISANGE. Do join us. We'll be right back.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for joining us this particular morning. Now we are joined by Special Assistant in the office of a member of
the consultant's office.
A member of the consultant's office from the UPND. They work hand in hand with Mr. Max Moy, who is the UPND consultant. Now we are joined by Mr. CEPHAS CHISANGE. Obviously, he's no stranger to the media and to TV and Camnet TV. Mr. Chisange, good to see you and welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Allow me also to sympathize and also mourn with you for losing our father. Remember, since that time I've never visited Lusaka, and it's an opportunity for me to communicate to the family and also the viewership of Camnet TV that we lost a gallant man, a patriotic man who stood for Zambia, and also a preacher who was sent by God to save lives. So we sympathize and work together for losing such a hard-working man.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for the kind words, Mr. Chisange. Now, getting into it, first of all, before we get into it, let's go to the load shedding schedule, dear director, that has been shared so that Mr. Chisange can be able to weigh in on this particular matter. The load shedding schedule. Now, as we wait for the display of the load shedding management schedule, there it is. Our director will be showing the load shedding management schedule as I ask you this question, Mr. Chisange. Many people are saying the rains are upon us. The good Lord in heaven has been so kind. We have abundant rainfall. You are on record to have demonstrated how the water levels are in Kariba and how the water table is affected. We want to know. There's a concern from the general public. There's a concern from the general public that why can't we have 24 hours of power supply? Mr. Chisange, the minister had a press briefing as well, but let me get it from you. Let me get it from you. As you open our eyes, let me get it from you.
Okay. Yeah, the situation of power in this country is something that is, next to the heart of the president. And also ZESCO themselves.
Okay.
One thing that we need to understand is that there's no government that will stand to crash its economy. When you look, you just go backwards, you find out that this load shedding has really affected the economy of this country through production, and also our citizens. So government understands that. ZESCO understands that.
Okay.
Now, what is the reality for today? Yeah, we have seen a lot of people, some from the opposition, where they go, capture floods in Lusaka, and they start posting to say, no, namumona, kuriya menshi, bate abantu batwale fokupela amalite. Yes, we have the rains, which we thank God. Remember, when the church, the citizens, and also the president stood up to seek, the face of God, in this matter. People were, demeaning, laughing at the head of state, the church, and the like. To them, it was just comedy and drama as usual. But we thank God, immediately we had those prayers, and God responded. We are speaking today, comrade, we have proper rains. Okay?
Exactly.
Now, those who are capturing Ama floods, no, monenema floods, abantu ifula balela ndati ba government balela ndati, ba Zesco balela ndati flood. Ameshita kula umkariba or kuitestes them. Now, I want to explain this so that at least a lot of people can understand.
Please.
We have the two river basins. We have the Zambezi River Basin and the Kafue River Basin. These are the major contributors to the hydro, production in the country, hydropower production. The Zambezi River Basin, where Kariba Dam is sitting, produces close to 180 megawatts.
Okay.
The Kafue River Basin, where it is Kafue Upper and Kafue Gorge Lower are sitting, produces close to 1,900 plus megawatts of power. Now, these two river basins play a major role in the supply of electricity in our country. But the most important of these two is the Kafue River Basin.
Okay.
Why? Because it produces 1,900 plus. When you look at our demand, total demand for the whole country, maybe today it can sit around 2,500, 2,600. When you subtract the 1,900, you remain with maybe 700. The 700, which when you combine the solar, thermal from Mamba and these others, without Kariba, we can still have power. Okay, we can still have power, maybe minimal hours, maybe few hours for load shedding, without Kariba. Why am I saying so? Look, from my research, I've been monitoring the rain pattern. And when people are talking of Lusaka, no, Lusaka, Shan, yes, I'm in Shekoyari. But you need to understand that when we had the drought, not what a drought, but Joe, I'm in Shekoyari Chita Festi, Yengila Panch. No, Zambezi River, Kafue River. You need to understand that most of our rivers and the streams were dry.
Okay.
When the rains are raining, Amish Festi Yengila Panchi, Ngayangila Panchi, Yaisula Panchi Paria, Elo Yambo Kufuma, Itumana Tuambo Kusu. Tumananga Tuambo Kusu, that's when they will start moving, flowing the waters in these big rivers like Kafue and Zambezi. So what is happening now as we speak? Me, I'm from the Copper Belt. Comrade. These dams that we have, these dams are huge.
Okay.
I was in Itestes just to witness. Comrade, we still have challenges in water levels. That I have to state here. I may not give you correct figures because the update they are giving every day. We still have challenges.
Okay.
With waters. When you look at Itestes Dam, the main reservoir for these dams, the hydro stations I'm talking about, Kafue, Itestezi, Kafue Gorge, Kafue Upper, and Kafue Gorge Lower. The main reservoir is Itestezi Dam. Go and see what is happening. Most of the floods which are happening in southern province, unfortunately, they are after the dam.
Okay.
You understand? They are after Itestezi Dam. Meaning, the floods that we are seeing in southern province, they are not going to Itestezi Dam. No. That's the most challenging thing that we have. So when people will be captured to say, no, it's not every water. Look at the waters in Lusaka here. Most of the waters, the reason why I'm in Sheka in Lusaka, because they are what to this is why government of President Taka Indexation, they are now thinking of at least setting up a dam somewhere where these waters will be channeled. From there now we'll be pumping into Kafue River so that they can go into our dams. So this is the challenge that we have. Yes, we have the rains. But looking at how the water levels are in our dams, comrade, we need to be sincere, we need to be factual. The issue of electricity, we still have challenges, just like the minister indicated. This also is monitoring to see how many Sheffield start accumulating dams. When they have at least bamunatama dams yafika hapa, that's when they can now plan to say hapa tulendera tutapata na 12 hours load shedding or 8 hours load shedding. I'm just trying to assume, but for now it is very, very difficult for ZESCO to plan, because the water levels in our dams, I witnessed, we went there, they are very, very low. That's a fact.
Okay. So now for the viewers that are watching out there, Mr. Eye Opener, they are saying Southern Province experienced floods, Lusaka flash floods, Copper Belt flash floods, most parts of the country flash floods. Why are we not having stable supply of electricity, Mr. Chisange? What assurance are you giving them regarding this particular matter of load shedding?
Yeah, thank you so much. Just as I've stated, and also what the minister said. You know, government, because this drought has taught us a lesson, right? Understanding, coming from that background, what government has done, the European government has done is, they are trying to introduce the energy mix.
Okay.
When I'm talking about the energy mix, they are trying to look at solar, windy, and these other thermal. Remember, as we speak right now, a project is going on at Mamba, which will be giving us very soon, hopefully maybe if not this year, next year, 300 megawatts to come on board from Mamba. That is out of solar, I mean thermal. We're also talking of the project that is going on in Chisamba, which is 100 megawatts, which is being done by ZESCO, and other projects that are coming on board. This is why when you heard the minister was saying, and also the president, when he was giving that prayer, he said, yes, we have learned a lesson. When he was praying to God, we have learned a lesson, because we are so comfortable with hydro, comrade, we forgot about the energy mix, tapping from other sources. Now that we had this challenge, now our minds were opened. We can now see properly to say, no, let's not rely on one thing. Government has invested, and also government has partnered with private sector to see how they can bring other sources of energy on board. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, it is very difficult for government, it is very difficult for us from the party to tell the people of Zambia to say, Vane, load shedding naipa. Remember, when President Hakainde Hichilema brought the 600 megawatts on board, and he mentioned to say, Vane load shedding yapayapwa. Today the people are using that statement against him. But he meant well when he said load shedding is over, because 600 megawatts was brought on board. So even today, no one can stand from government or us from the party to say, no, we are saying we are still monitoring the rains. That's number one. Number two, we are also waiting for other projects that are going to be completed. After that time, or during that time, that's when now a comprehensive statement or a comprehensive direction will be given the citizens to say, Vaniapa, since we have the 100 megawatts from here, solar, we have also 50 megawatts from Serenge, we have another 40 megawatts from CEC, we are another, combining this is what we have against our demand. From the rains that we have gathered, the waters that we have gathered in our dams, this is what we can offer from our hydro. Putting it together, we'll be moving in this direction. For now, it's very, very difficult, but we can assure our people that government is not sleeping. Their president is not sleeping. You have seen him, he's out of the country. He's not there to play. He's there to look, he's moving out, moving around to see development, seeking for investors to come in the country, to invest in such avenues. So, we can assure our citizens that this government is serious in development, and they will do everything possible to stabilize the situation of power in this country. And we believe that this year things are going to improve than what we experienced last year.
Okay. Now let's go, still in the energy sector, let's go to the issues of fuel pump prices, Mr. Chisange. You're coming from the Copper Belt, and obviously the Copper Belt, that's where we hear, that's where Indeni is.
Yes.
And most people have talked about Indeni, most people have talked about the Lobito corridor, most stakeholders have talked about why not have a separator here or an oil refinery plant, which obviously costs colossal sums of money to establish. But let's begin to talk about the issues that have to do with fuel pump prices. What could be your assurance to the Zambian people out there when it comes to the issues of fuel, Mr. Tsani?
Thank you so much. Yeah, when you look at the issue of the of fuel, there are some elements that triggers the hike in prices of fuel.
Okay.
Number one, we are talking of the world market price. You ask yourself, how much are we buying fuel today at the world market? That's number one. Number two, the exchange rate. How much is the kwacha against the dollar? And also the cost, the expenses of importing and bringing the commodity in the country. So putting this together, wajo fuel ukuya pamoja. Now, why are we having this challenge of fuel prices, ukuya pamoja and the like? And I've seen our colleagues from the opposition, no, this man, when he was in the opposition, he was using a calculator. He was saying, when I come, I will do this ABCD and fuel will be at 12 kwacha. Can you give us the 12 kwacha fuel? That's correct. What you need to understand that the time that President Hakainde Hichilema was doing the calculations, he was not calculating fuel at the world market, the price at the world market at $100 per barrel.
Okay.
When our colleagues were in power, the president quoted, the wholesale price or the buying price from the world market then, it was $43 per barrel.
Okay.
Okay. So doing the calculations and everything that the president did, the price came down to around 12-15 kwacha. And he said, when I come into power, this is what I want to do. Looking at the price at the world market. Do you know, comrade, that from 2012 up to 2019, 2020, the prices of the commodity at the world market were very low compared to today.
Okay.
So, what is triggering the hike? Number one is the prices, the hiking of the price of the fuel, the commodity at the world market.
Okay.
What I'm saying in short is, effort to akali, never to number, is totally different. Akali to $45 per barrel, that is close to 160 liters. $45 per barrel. Today, we are buying at around 110 per barrel.
Okay.
Okay. Now look at the difference. It's like you and me. Today yourself, you go on the market, you buy a box of tomato at 50 kwacha. When you come, mwaitwa kumatero, mwasha tomato imu 10 kwacha.
Okay.
Mwashita pari 50 kwacha box. Pero mwasha tomato pari 10 kwacha. Then mwapush. Tomorrow I go on the market, nasanga tomato na walunda. Yafuma pari 50, ya pari 100 per box. Do you expect me, when I come to Matero, you are my neighbor, you are selling your first stand in Malaysia, my yapwa, na inale itapa next yapa, na last certain kwacha? Definitely the price have to go up. Why? Because why I have sourced the tomato, they have hiked the price.
Okay.
So, customer guy sala that no, but Joe, my operation tomato 10 kwacha. Why are you selling us 20 kwacha tomato?
Okay.
It is me, upon me as a seller, to explain to the customer, to say, Bane, Joe, washtile tomato, wale order pari 50 kwacha. If we to order pari 20 kwacha. That's a difference. So, that is what is triggering all these challenges. Mule munaisa, month indi balunda ko, yaisa. I said kwacha, the exchange rate, and also the price at the world market, and other costs that are attached. Now, what should government do, or what is government doing, at least to regulate this and also control it? Remember, the MMD government introduced a system of creating or constructing of reservoirs in all the provincial centers, which our colleagues abandoned. Because you cannot procure, because we have heard people, stakeholders, which is a very valid submission to say no. You cannot plan today to say, okay, financial budget yandi transport in so nkashitani so from this month in alachita so wala sana next maybe you plan, there are businesses who plan for 3 months 6 months we're gonna transportation part every month the transport is changing. That will disturb your business plan. It is something which is inching also on the skin of government. But why are we still facing this challenge? I'm talking of the issue of reserves. Number one, we have no reserves where we can buy in bulk.
Okay.
Number two, we have no resources. You need to understand that the procurement of fuel today has been handed over in the private sector hands. Okay. Why? Because when this party came into power, we came in power and we inherited empty coffers. So to sustain the delivery of fuel in the country, the government came with this policy to say, let's hand over this so that the private sector can come. Now you have seen Apapen Zimbabwe, those who are getting, because remember diesel we are using in then, which is Tazama pipeline. Okay. But petrol we use our road transporting system. You saw what happened in Zimbabwe when they had to hike yes, just passing their country, they should be charging $21,000. They stand to be corrected.
22 and 30.
Yes, that brought a lot of challenge because it was very difficult. You cannot, you are bringing a tanker in Zambia, but charge you $21,000. Then when you reach the border, that's when they find it was a very difficult situation. That has continued. Okay, that has continued. This is the reason why you are seeing but government is trying to do, this party, this president is trying everything possible to see how they can control the situation. So, in short, what you are saying is that government they are trying to invest in Kwambo reserves so much that when you buy in bulk, you have where to store the commodity. Because you cannot buy 25 kg. If you cannot have money to buy 25 kg, what happens? You go and buy a Pamela. This is what is happening. So we have to reach a level where, as a country, where economically we need to be stable. That's number one. Number two, we need to invest in infrastructure where we can store this commodity when we buy in bulk. Okay. So these are some of the issues, causing this, disturbance in the supply of fuel and the like. But we believe that, and we are very much sure that government is working around the clock to stabilize the prices of fuel and also the supply of fuel in this country.
Okay, fantastic. Now you, dear viewer, can come through and give us your view and contribute on this particular program. The number is scrolling on your TV screen there. We have Mr. I Opener here, Mr. CEPHAS CHISANGE. Please come through and give us your view. 0973 852700. That's 0973 852700. Please come through. We would like to hear from you. Or better still, you can engage us via our Facebook page, Camnet TV. Search for it on Facebook and leave a comment there. Mr. Chisange, let's get into the issue of the cost of living. There is a growing concern among citizens out there that the cost of living is high. But what assurance are you giving to the people of Lusaka, Copperbelt, and the entire Zambia regarding the cost of living?
Yeah, this is another thorn in our flesh. Yeah, we need to understand that we are coming from a situation which was so difficult for each and every citizen.
Okay.
Each and every sector in our country plays a part in the growth of the economy. And when you look at agriculture and energy, these are major sectors or stakeholders in the growth of the economy. Today we are talking of the largest employer of our citizens is the agriculture sector.
Okay.
We are talking of close to 6 million, 8 million, around those figures. People have been engulfed in agriculture who are producers of goods and services. Now, I was just explaining the issue of energy crisis in the country, which was caused, though some have pointed the finger at the president, pointing the finger at government to say, no, you are the people who have caused this drought, this load shedding. But we know load shedding was not caused by any bad policy from the UPND government, but because of the drought crisis that we had. Now, away from that, people can talk. This load shedding, when let's talk of production, why do we have this cost of living going up? The principles in the marketing sector. There are principles, the principle which says, which talks about supply and demand.
Okay.
When you have a lot of goods on the market, prices themselves, they just bring themselves down. Why? Because there's no competition.
Okay.
But when you have lesser goods on the market, and there's too much demand, you will find that the prices will start going up. Now, when don't live, ngamwapa market bajo, mwasange toroshidi mfuele, jifedimo, and 10 people were ready for a toroshi. The person who is selling that trousers will have the power to determine the price.
Ala durisha.
Okay. Reason being, alefua na ishwati. Uyunga tashiti jote ngatashitile CHISANGE alashita. CHISANGE ngashite banda ipo hali alashita. What you are bidding.
Okay.
Who is the highest bidder? So the seller will be just floating arms to see who is the highest bidder here. Asange toloshi ya 250. Mambo kushita 400. Why? Because the supply on the market is very low.
Okay.
Now, vice versa. When you have a lot of goods per market, you have a lot of tomato, mushroom, and very few people are buying. What happens? The prices go down. Look at a very practical example. When rain season is just starting, this mushroom issue, you find the we buy at 50 kwacha. But as time goes on, what happens? 50 kwacha. Why 10 kwacha? So it's an issue of supply and demand. So the reason why we are passing through this challenge, number one, comrade, there is low production of commodities on the market because companies which were producing goods and services daily, hourly, they start produce milk, they start produce soap, they start produce some sweet. 8 hours they are not working. They are given power for maybe 10 hours, they work, again they shut down. So that, but when production. So that has triggered, a lot of goods on the market to go up because the supply on the market is very low. It's coming at a low pace. Why? Because of load shedding.
Okay.
Look at cement today. Why? Because my plants are in, but are load shedding. Look at mini mill today. ZNS was supposed to be supplying mini mill everywhere.
Okay. But
they are being limited because of power. Maybe they are given power in the morning, 12 hours, light here. For production. But in Shukanyama, Kumandevu, Kumatero, and they want mini mill. So what will happen to someone who is Matero, now got 10 bags, and the 100 people are fighting for that mini mill? What will happen? Definitely, there will be a hike in prices. So the whole issue of the crisis, government, this president, the UPND, we are very much aware. We cannot come on TV or on air to pretend that things are okay, everything is okay. No. This government, this president, this party has done everything possible to control the situation. Comrade, I did not been for president in the Chile Malaya. I want to give you a practical example. You are in the media. Maybe you have not noticed this, but me I have noticed because I do a lot of research.
Okay.
Have you noticed that the shortage of minimum yacht quarter between December, January, February? Abantu baya toma shops ubunga tamuli. the only shortage here to kuete pano. Ubunga was ZNS because now what demand, a lot of people want to buy that minimum.
Okay.
But these other commodities, they are flooded in the market. Go everywhere, you find it. Unlike where we're coming from. You know, time you don't see the Africa for them season shubunga wa short. That we have to appreciate this president and this government. Because the stability has started coming. Even when we had this drought, even when a lot of maize, but we have this stability. What more if you had the bumper harvest last year and also what we are seeing already upper, the fish stick. So it is an indication that even when we are passing through this phase, but this president, the UPND, they are trying by every means possible to stabilize things. And I can assure without shame our citizens that now I won't say what I want to point in take will smile and they will be the first people to start defending president. Very soon as I'm talking, they will be in forefront to say, this president, why? Because at least under very difficult circumstances, he has shown free education when the economy is down. A lot of people have someone, this is Chingola Ndola Jukarejwe, it's a scam. Today, wala mwana post Rodi Suma nanguni scam but Rodi
Now,
Suma.
Mr. Chisange, just there has been a concern since you are coming from the party. There has been a concern that the Zambian people are not difficult people. All they need is you to communicate what this administration is doing. When it comes to communication, have you been effective as a party? In all honesty.
This is what we are doing. Yes, there might be concerns here and there, but this is what we are doing. And I have to mention this to you.
Okay.
We pay attention to things which are not profitable. Very few people may be watching this program.
Okay.
They are busy. But ngana full of shit pano in tempo kwenda. Everyone will be there to watch. We need mindset change. We are not paying attention to things which are beneficial. We have shifted to pay attention. Even when you go on social media, you start checking. Ngawa poster ichintu chiri very important. Very few people are commenting. Post to Mungulu and see what how they react. People are going to react and everything. So some will say, no, UPND, Tamulelanda, Comrade, we are everywhere.
Okay.
I'm here speaking as a member of the consultant's office. Another person as speak is in Petauke. Another person is somewhere speaking. But we are used to things which are not beneficial to a country. I want to be able to move into chabe fie wale foko nga HTF umuntu afula umuntu na start divorce wale la kafia chupo for Facebook. That's what they are interested in. That's why they want to be on Facebook. But so all in all, yes, we may be slow in communication, communicating these issues to the people, but also we cannot be blamed 100%. Okay. People should also pay attention. When they see that there's someone explaining policies, it's their duty to listen. It's their duty to call and find out. That's how we should move as a country. Not kula pose kufintu if you fini mola mfafo umuntu ala finondelo ndo la pameshi. Yes, we know that ameshi fula ile lokaba tema dams dalamba ameshi dalamba kustarize wino madams. But umuntu ala ikopa fie. Now mona nyameshi kuna afula. Abantu mona nyameshi. They will pay attention to that person who has no facts at all.
Okay.
So this is a challenge that we have, but we can assure you people in the media and also those who are watching, that we are moving in the issue of disseminating information to the public to make sure that people can understand, whatever that government, whatever that president, whatever that UPND is doing, so much that we move on the same page.
Okay. Dear viewers, the number is on your screen, rather, 0973-852700. 0973-852700. That's the number you are reaching us on. You can send a text, a voice note, or better still call us so that you can be able to contribute as well. Now, but let's go to Petauke and Pambashe by-elections. They are going to the polls, and right now voting is underway. Mr. Chisange, how do you rate your chances as a party in these two constituencies?
You know, the people of Zambia, more especially those who are coming from rural constituencies, they have now started opening their eyes.
Okay.
When President Hakainde Hichilema came, he looked at uniting. When you just even look at our manifesto, read our constitution, the UPND stands for unity and development.
Okay.
And this is what President Hakainde Hichilema is doing. He's implementing exactly what the UPND is meant for.
Okay.
When he came in power, when the UPND came into power, the first thing that they did was to increase CDF, because they looked at a situation where most of the rural constituencies were neglected.
Okay.
For them to receive development used to take ages. Now this president, when he came in to say, no, whether you are in Chipata, Luapula, Northwestern, Western, Southern, we are one and the same. We are equal.
Okay.
And the cake, the national cake, should be shared equitably. And this is what he's doing. He has demonstrated when we just came into power as UPND, the first CDF which our colleagues failed to dispense then, one way church at once.
Okay.
2022 came, it was released at once. Today as we speak, well, some constituencies now popular CDF funds.
Okay.
Man has been takuda to ukubali votere ba Hakainde ukutawa vote. So the people in our villages, in our rural constituencies, are able to see now that this president means well. Sometimes it's very difficult to understand, remember, because where we are coming from, our president was dented black by opposition. No, Agashie Chalo, Tekala Zambia, a lot of propaganda. Now, you know, when he said, I'm going to give you free education, a lot of people were opposing. It's not possible. Free education, no, this is not free education. There's no quality. You see, so they understand fully the importance of government paying on their behalf. PTA, examination fee, user fee. Good government. When we are talking of free education, it doesn't mean that there is no payment. Government pays on behalf of people.
Okay.
This is what is happening. So people have now started resonating with the message, with the manifesto of the UPND. So I want to tell you here, I've already seen a statement from this they have already released a statement of defeat. Okay. They are now accusing Hakainde Hichilema, who is in Japan. We have already lost. But someone is already confessing.
Before the results are announced?
Before the results are announced. Are you God? But why are they confessing failure? Because they have seen what is on the ground.
Okay. When
you have the political eyes and the political sense, you'll be able to tell that so they have seen already that what next? I remember Batila. Now pointing a finger at President Hakainde Hichilema to say, our failure. But the truth of the matter is, comrade, there is massive development in our rural constituencies. Massive, I'm talking of massive. Apatulela paso ambulances yaleisa. Okushali na ambulances yala fika ambulances. Apatulela ndaku imetoka sha police ko sha ko takwadi sharia. Apatulela nda comrade motor vehicles monitoring CDF takwadi sharia. Emwe. Tuma clinic, I was just discussing with somebody in Pambashe where he said, let me tell you, my brother, if these PF MPs were moving at the pace and the vision of President Hakainde Hichilema, pano tulelanda pano chalunga nachi biruko obisana. But you know, there's some people who are applying brakes on CDF just to support the CDF. So nga tuachita pale china no Hakainde ala pangeshina nishipata kule kutulea. Even their leaders, they call them. You remember when our father, Mr. Lungu, was cancelling his MPs to say, "Bane CDF kamile when if CDF fails, they are going to point a finger at you." So we finger to isatuke ifunyako. So such discussions, abantu wali kuja kumishikuna na wamonati awe turefa clinic, turefa ama school, turefa ama desk, which this government has done. Ni kuiso kama monako. We are talking of close to 800,000 desks, which Zambians zibale panga. All that money has gone in the pockets of Zambians. Abanesu balesta import from China. Hello, kustu waisaganda to votere numbi. Abantu na bachai bale mona na meso.
Okay.
Bale mona tiawoko tulea nomba. Filibino sana. This is why we are also telling the people of Zambia to say, bane, ini jonko fiya kwa Hakainde. Ni jonko because he inherited a very, very bad economy. Ni jonko. A lot of things they are coming and will be shocked. Okay,
so in earnest, what you are trying to tell the Zambian people is that victory is assured in Pambashe and Petauke constituencies.
We are not in Pambashe to go and Petauke to play or to show our faces there. No, we are there for serious business, and the serious business is to win those 2 seats.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay. Now, Mr. Chisange, there have been some allegations, accusations, reports of tribal remarks being peddled by named politicians in these 2 constituencies. But what is your word when it comes to tribal remarks being uttered by political players?
It's very unfortunate, comrade, that after 6 days of independence, we have continued as a nation, going in that route, derailing the system and the love of this country in that line of tribal and hate speech. Okay. Comrade, me, I will ask you. We are here now. Once ever can you tell me or show me any video or any audio where you have heard President Hakainde Hichilema going in podium to say, Bakalwale, Abalamba, Babemba, Bangoni, they cannot rule this country. It is my time now to rule. Have you ever heard Hakainde say that? Yes, never. You will never hear anybody from the UPND going on a platform to preach hate speech, to preach tribalism.
Okay.
But now what is surprising that the people who preach it and the people who practice it are the loudest today. Okay. But the whole gimmick is very simple. I have to tell you this. Where there is no violence, where there is no tribal talk, hatred, and every vice which is negative, the opposition, most especially the former ruling party, which has regrouped itself in that club of Tonse. If you provide that environment, peaceful environment, they will never penetrate. They will never talk of their manifesto. Look, this is an opportunity. Me, when we were in the opposition, we started appearing on TV radio station when they were in the opposition. This is what the PF are doing. Tell them that what the PF are doing is bad. This is what we are going to do. Okay. Then the people started weighing. And like what is happening today, the message that is coming from the opposition is HH. HH green, HH white, HH red, HH black, HH every day. Okay. When you ask them a question of load shedding, they will tell you, no, HH telewomba, alibepele abantu, ati load shedding alipusha. But you ask, what are you going to offer
Okay.
And I challenge you people in the media. When you ask them a question of load shedding, they point a finger at HH. Say, okay, fine, you are pointing a finger at HH. Now, what is your plan?
Okay.
When they come here and appear, they say, no, free education has no quality. They say, okay, it has no quality, according to your opinion, correct. Tell us what you are going to do to improve the quality. What is your policy on free education, on education, I mean? When they say, no, minimum is expensive, and this is what, tell them, yeah, it's okay, it's expensive, correct. Tell us what you are going to do to reduce the price. Don't say, free child. No, things don't just happen because no, you don't do that. They have to come on such platforms to preach what they have to offer to the people of Zambia. I'm here, I'm telling the people who are watching what this government is doing.
Okay.
When I refer them back where we're coming from, I'm also giving them the current situation and also the future of where we are going. That is how we should continue doing politics. Not, hey, we will Mtonga, Fumap, hey, we will Shan. That is total nonsense, comrade. Fico. And you see, me, I laugh. You know, I laugh when people stand. I mean, Zambia, we have examples from countries where people were fighting the Hutus and the Tutsis. When you see the outcome and you have 5 senses, you not even have the courage to go and stand on a podium to preach. I am a hate speech mumona na ngwinkondoshi mumona. Shamba fina kantu fiaka no. You saw what happened in Tunisia, just killing a street vendor there who was selling paper, whatever. You saw how Tunisia turned into. 5 months, 7 to protest. Just one individual. So, some statements of Alanda Vaneso opposition. When I want from the Alanda, but Alanda Fichalapu left. No, it can spark, this country into flames.
Okay.
When you hear the statement of this Nakachinda, Ale Mukulanda, no, ku southern province, if Vala to Pepe Kabala Tuma, Imungo Mua Kuchipata Mayoku, Waka Mumo Visana, Naimone Kuno from Fulimulechita. How can somebody do that? What is he trying to preach? He is trying to preach violence. He is trying to, incite citizens from Eastern to rise against the people of Southern. That is exactly what he was doing. But, comrade, look at this. Me, I stayed from 1997 to whatever, I stayed in Southern Province for 4 years. When I was in Southern Province, in Kalom, I learned in Nyanja instead of Tonga.
Okay.
When you go in Southern Province, in Choma, are you telling me that if there's tribalism that they talk about, can you even speak Nyanja in Southern Province? The answer is no. The reason why you see anyone can go to Chipata, Ayalanda, Chitonga, Ayalanda, Chikalwale, Ayalanda, Chitundu, Ayalanda, Chibemba, it's because according to the laws of this country, according to the love that we have as citizens, you are free to say anything, to speak anything, to mingle with anyone, anywhere, at any time.
So my question is, why have you, the politicians, continued with impunity and without shame to peddle the tribal card when you're doing your campaigns? Why have you continued? Because we believe we are one Zambia, one nation, one people.
To correct you, some politicians, not us. No, it's not every politician.
Let me retract my statement.
Yes.
Some politicians.
Yes. It's not every politician who is doing that. Some politicians, just as I've stated to say, they have discovered that they have no message to preach because they were supposed to be in Petauke to say, ECDF, we fought Kaiwesha from 36.1 to 1.6, and they give reasons. If we have free education to Kaifunyako, to refer Bantubari Pile, Nefiasha, they have to explain, but they have nothing to offer. This is why they will just resort to violence, they will resort to insults, they will resort to divisions. Because to them, because that's a formula they were using in the past, they believe that even to now it can work for them.
Okay.
So some politicians are using tribal sentiments so much that they can use that to buy votes. Because they know that ngatwalanda mwa kuchipata aba ku southern bali mipata. Then so if we wesu uimine kuno wakuchipata president wakuchipata so tend to vote for. So they are using that to manipulate the voters so that they can win that election.
What should be done to such politicians?
The law is very clear. Whoever breaks the law should be visited. They should be corrected by the law. So what is the law saying by again to anyone who is preaching hate speech? Definitely laws are there to make sure that when they stand before the law, they have to explain themselves to say, oh, in national land I meant ABCD. Then the courts will be there to judge to say, oh, he was right or wrong. When they find that he's right, they are acquitted. They are wrong, then they are thrown into jail. Because, comrade, when we go in this, have we ever seen in churches a pastor preaching at all? It doesn't happen. Stadium. I don't see tribes there. I see Zambians. Go Jasper town center, town center market. Go Kamwala. Go Kushan. Go and see if you are going to see tribe on the faces of citizens. There's no tribe.
So you see something that's being replicated in the political space.
I've already said those who are sensible, they understand that politics of tribe is dead, is nonsense. But our Kwatefiko, they take that to be smartness. So time and seasons is going to expose them.
Okay.
Yes. The more they talk of tribe, the more people stand to say, however, and you see, even their own supporters that we know, if you take from a campaign, we are going to if this country was up in flames, war does not look at your face to say at your tribe. See what is happening in Congo there. There are so many tribes. Once all of them they are running away. So if there was trouble in this country today, let me tell you, it won't spare anybody. Since I'm Tonga here, I want also my Tonga here. No, this one is Bemba, this one is Tonga, this one is Leozi, this one is Valley. You will work together, but preaching hate, no, this tribalism. No, after India, let's start a point I want to work with you. Look at the cabinet that the president has appointed. Well balanced, Northwesterners, Westerners, Southerners, Easterners, Northerners, won't say nobody. Then how can you say he's biased in the way he's selecting people? No. Okay. It is just that is their formula. They used for a long time to manipulate citizens. But they are failing to realize that they want to know. They are no longer interested in tribe. People are interested in development. They want to see cheap minimum. They want to see their son, their daughter is going to a nice school. They want to see their mother who is pregnant going to a maternity ward which is very clean. They want to see people in the villages drinking clean water. That is all they want. That is their interest.
Okay. Mr. Chisange, the eye opener, as we go, the people of Zambia are watching. Pambashe and Petauke constituencies go to the polls today, but most importantly, the largest constituency, the Zambian people are watching, and expectations are high from the party in government. What are your last remarks and words of assurance to the Zambian people, regardless of what they are going through right now?
Thank you so much. When the people of Israel were in Egypt, and when Moses came to them and preached the good news of salvation, they rejected him. But it took God himself to push them out of Egypt. And God himself showed his miracles and he showed his wonders before them. So what I can tell the people of Zambia is that what they are seeing now, the darkness which is standing before them now, it is for a short period of time. You are lucky that you have a president who is humble, with a sound mind, like President Daka Indechima, who has an interest at next to his heart for the people of Zambia, for this country. I was just speaking to someone in Japan yesterday who was telling me to say, boy, I'm in Japan here for 12 years, and I never plan to visit Zambia any day in any near future. But today, after seeing what this president is doing, I'm planning to come back to Zambia. This man means very well. I want to come back to Zambia.
Okay.
When these people, I don't want to mention them, were ruling, they came here in Japan. I went there. I was so shocked. They moved the Zambians musicians. They went to Japan and saying, meeting the president in Japan. The same Zambians who are traveling together with the president there. But the president Alikunu very busy with investors.
Okay.
What am I saying? We have a very serious president today who wants lives of people to change. He wants the economy to grow. Under very difficult circumstances, he has shown us, he has done a lot of things, recruiting close to 130,000 youths. Ngawalanda, no, this government has neglected youths. 130,000 youths have been engaged, employed in government as in different sectors as we speak right now. In private sector, look at the roads that they're doing. How many people are being employed there? The roads are being constructed everywhere. Look at the skills. We are talking of close to 90,000 youths who are being trained under skills in different categories. Tailor, bricklayer, electrician, operator, machine operator, under skills. Talk of the people who are benefiting from grants, the cooperatives, the loans, those who are benefiting from CEC, the CEC, and so many programs under the youth department. Okay. That is an indication that this man, look at the mining sector. Mines like Lulenga, which was dead for 46 years, is alive now. Talk of Luansha, which was dead 23 years, is alive now. Mopani was down, almost going down the grave, is alive. Talk of KCM today. This is why today we are boasting of the production, which has increased 12% increase in production. Okay. From 720 to around 800, above 800 plus. That is an indication that this president means well for this country. Okay. So, we should continue praying for our president, because God want to feel our hey, President Alwale, hey, President, but not busy. So we should continue praying for our leaders. We should continue giving them support. Let's support President Akaindechila. He means well. Not pelako ka sample. Muli nefie 4 years, 3 years. Not pelaka sample. When you give him another mandate, of which we were very certain after 2026. Now shall mo bakaba mo. Now shall lumba bakalumba. We are here. You replay this video. Bakalumba. Now this man means well. Okay. So we are asking them to continue.
Viewers, that was Mr. CEPHAS CHISANGE, the eye opener. He is a member of the UPND consultancy office, joining us this morning to discuss matters of national importance. Thank you so much for coming through and for traveling all the way from the Copper Belt to come and be with us. And thank you, the viewers, the major stakeholders. And a gentle reminder is that we are moving to digital life. Please join us on this transition. In a few days, you'll be able to download our app, the Camnet TV app, where you'll be able to sample our programming and go back in time to those stories that you might have forgotten about. They'll be there on our app as well, and more new programming coming through. On behalf of my director, Mr. Lesa upstairs, I've been your host, Joe Smarter is my name. We'll see you when you see us. Good morning and God bless.